Hey guys, this is Corey from BadDayLetsPlay, and today we're going to be playing a game called Strife. This game is a new MOBA that's been created by the company S2 Games. You may have heard of them before, as they've created another relatively large MOBA game called Heroes of Newerth. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to see how the game works, see what's new, see what's different, so that you guys can find out for yourselves what the game's all about and decide for yourselves if you'd like to try it out or not. Alright, so we're going to start from the main page here. We're going to look at our account information first, which is at the top left, and then we're going to look at all the options here on the right hand side. So if we click on our account information, we start off with our account progress. It tells you what level your account's at, and as you can see, as you progress through the level tiers, you get different kinds of loot, which essentially boils down to seals and elixir. With seals, you use those, as you can see at the top here, to work with and purchase pets, and elixir is used for crafting, which we'll get into later on. On top of that, you have game statistics here at the bottom, which tells you different things about average information about your games, and you have some fun facts about different heroes that you've played here at the bottom right, which are pretty cool. It goes through different ones telling you what games you had your highest GPM, most hero kills, and win rate, and so on. If you look at the left hand side here, we have some other things too. You have game quests, which are pretty neat. There's daily, weekly, monthly, and lifetime quests, and they give you different sorts of loot as well, and they help you towards, again, getting pets and crafting items. So it's an interesting way to kind of keep you playing games and working towards those crafting items and those pets. And then at the bottom you have Hero Master, which is just essentially how many games you've won with each hero. And that's pretty much it for your account information. So we'll go back and we'll look at some of these things on the right hand side here. Play, obviously, takes you to playing the game, and we don't want to go there yet because I've still got some stuff to explain about down here. So we'll look at pets first. As you can see, there's a number of different pets you can pick from here. It looks like we got 8. I started off with this one. You get to choose your first one, and I chose Mystic, which is a spell casting effectiveness pet. And each pet has 3 abilities and can gain up to 9 levels, so far anyway. And essentially what they do is they help you out in the matches. As I said, this boosts your spell casting effectiveness, and so it has moves that regenerate your mana, amplifying magic damage, as well as its second ability, which kind of gives you a little bit of extra DPS on top of what you can already do. It's nothing too crazy, but it definitely helps out, especially when you're trying to harass enemy heroes. And you have a ton of different pets for different situations. That's a spellcasting pet. You have this pet, Tortoise, that is mainly for tanks and for survivability. Bounder is a highly mobile pet and helps you get out of bad situations. You have other pets like Luster, which help you gain gold more quickly. So there's all sorts of different things that you can use here, and they can be used for all sorts of different situations, and can be very helpful in many different ways. Some of them have different costs. There are 3 pets, I believe, Mystic, Tortoise, and Pincer, that are worth 1,200 seals, and the rest of them are worth 3,000. So I've played probably around 40 games, and this is what I'm looking at in terms of seals after buying 2 pets. So it does definitely take quite a bit of time to rack up these seals in order to buy these pets, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. You know, you can definitely work towards that relatively quickly and have your pets in a reasonable amount of time. The next option we have is crafting, and this one's very interesting. I don't think I've seen this in any MOBA to date that I've played anyway. And essentially what you can do is you can take any of the items from the shop. You can just look at the shop itself, or you can go through the tabs here at the top and pick one of your favorite items that you like to use a lot. One of the items that I like to use quite a bit, I find myself using quite a lot, is an attack damage item called the Zealot's Blade. So we'll look at this. So you choose the item that you want to modify, and now you get to choose which components you like to put into the item. which is really interesting. You can actually change the recipe here. So you can see in these gray pictures here what used to be part of the item. So you can see that there was 2 items here. In the original recipe you have the agility relic and a health shard, and that's what makes up the Zealot's Blade normally. You can see down here that there's a component value that you have to meet before continuing on to the enchantment portion of the creation process. And essentially here what you can do is you can change, as I said, the recipe for your item. So say I wanted to add a lot of attack speed to this item. We can do that. We can take this 36% attack speed, add some power to it. We can add some smaller attack speed items, and instead of having our 36% attack speed, we can have a 45% attack speed increase by using these items instead. As you can see, the item's natural effect that it would give you normally from using the recipe does not change, so you still have that. Then what you get to do is you get to move on to the next part, and this is what makes crafting so important, is now you get to add an enchantment to your item, which is going to be added on top of what it can already do, and this will not be included in any item on the shop. So essentially, if there was a person in the game that had a Zealot's Blade that didn't craft it and you had yours, you would essentially have an advantage because you would have an enchantment on top of what they would have. And you can see you can choose to add one of 3. Obviously there's the no enchantment here, which is going to do nothing. You have Rhythm and you have Vampirism, which is attack, lifesteal. Rhythm gives you an attack buff for continuously attacking enemies. What you can also notice here too is that this adds gold to the cost of your item. Anything that you add to the item will add to its cost, so that's something to keep in mind, but generally it's not going to make that big of a difference in your decisions for the most part. It'll be worth it most times. So we'll say I'll add the Rhythm enchantment to the item. So now that'll be it, and it tells you the cost, it tells you the items you're going to have, it tells you the effect of the recipe and your enchantment. And I already have one of these crafted, so you can't craft 2 of the same item, but that's what you do. You hit craft and that would be it. And you can see these items that you've crafted from your vault, and as you can see I've got a couple of items here already. There's a maximum of 8 at this time. I don't know if they plan on changing that or not, but that's the maximum right now. And if you ever decide you want to change any of these items or get rid of them, you can recycle them. And it tells you how much this cost to create originally and how much you're going to get back from salvaging. Hit salvage and it's gone. Boom, there it is. So that's crafting in a nutshell. That's a really new element that they've added to MOBAs in general. Like I say, I've never seen it before, and I think I've seen it actually affect my games in a number of different ways. Some of the new items that I have really helped me out, especially early game, and they definitely allow you to create items that are tailored more to your playstyle, which is really interesting. And that's essentially crafting in a nutshell. The final tab we have down here is watch, and this is just a place where you can go to watch different people playing games, watch featured videos that have been uploaded, live streams, replays, and you can spectate games that are going on right now. So that's a pretty cool addition. Rather than having to go to other sites to see these things, you can just do it right on Strife, which is handy. Okay, so now we'll take a look at the play area of the game, and as you can see here, there's a very nicely rendered picture of the heroes that you pick. As you mouse over them, it'll change to each different hero. Your abilities are on the right hand side here, and there are tabs at the top left to help you choose which type of hero you'd like to play based on different parameters such as attack damage, support, or crowd control, and so on. As I said before, your abilities are over here, and if you mouse over them, you can get all the information you need: mana cost, how the ability works, the amount of magic damage it deals, the cooldown, all of that. And I think one of the most interesting things about this area is that you're choosing your hero before you go into the matchmaking process. We haven't found other players to play with yet. We are not in a game. We haven't even begun entering the queue. So it makes it a lot easier for you to choose what you want, and you get to play how you want to play when you want to play that way, rather than having to accommodate different players that might not be kind enough or thoughtful enough to let you play the hero you'd like to play in a particular game. So once we've chosen our hero, we'll go with bow. We move to the pet tab, and we choose the pet that we want to use with bow. So I'll choose Mystic. And again, you get your really cool pictures over here, as well as all your information on the right hand side. And then essentially here we get to choose if we want to play with any other players, and here we can choose what heroes we want to play, if we want to play specific heroes and make a specific composition in our party. If you're playing solo though, you don't have to worry about that. You can pick different colors for your hero here. You have to pay for these with money, and below that you can create hero builds for your hero based on the abilities and the items in the shop, if you have a specific way you'd like to play your hero. So you can set that up for in-game, so you can automatically purchase items that you want and use abilities that you would like to have based on how you like to play. Normally down here for different heroes you would have different skins on top of the colors that are already here. Depending, some heroes have them, some don't as of yet. Bow unfortunately does not, but you would see those down here. And that's pretty much it. From this point you get into your match. This is when you would start looking for your match. This is when you'd queue up and the game would place you with a team and you'd go. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the game. You have your other options up here at the top right, and your friends list is down here. People that are your friends and people you've recently played with. This is a little clunky. I'm not too happy with this at this point, just because it's really hard to find the friends that you've played with, say last game even. There's no way to really separate that from other people in the list, but you know, have maybe a pencil and paper ready and write down their name and you can add them later. And you have your chat windows over here, general chat, and any sort of specific chat rooms you want to enter or talk in or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. The last thing to do is get into your game and you're off to the races. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. We're going to have an exciting announcement to tell you guys about in the near future, so look out for that. And if you'd like to see any gameplay or anything like that, leave that in the comment section below and I'll be sure to have some for you, because I'm definitely playing this game, as you can see on BadDayLetsPlay. If you're ever getting into this game, if you'd like to add me, go ahead, I'll play games with you guys, no problem at all. And yeah, thanks for watching and we'll talk to you guys soon.